Dear 10th standard students, I would like to welcome you all to today's session. Dear children, during the last session we had already discussed first lesson, Advent of Europeans to India. In today's session, we shall discuss the second part of first lesson. During the last session, you had discussed various concepts like the trade relationship between India and Europe, the fall of Constantinople, a new sea route to India, European trade companies, and the competition between English and the French. In other words, Carnatic wars which were fought between French and the British were also discussed. Now I am going to ask some questions relating to this. Are you ready? Let's start. First question. The first navigator to reach the coast of Calicut. Answer is Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama was the first navigator to reach the coast of Calicut. Second question. In 1453, the Ottoman Turks occupied Dash city. They occupied Constantinople. Correct. You are right, students. They occupied Constantinople. The city of Constantinople was occupied by the Ottoman Turks in the year 1453. After the fall of the Constantinople, this incident forced the European trade companies to discover sea route to India. Third question. The capital of French in India was Dash. Answer is Pondicherry or Puducherry. The old name of Pondicherry or Puducherry was Valikondapuram. Fourth one, the real founder of Portuguese Empire in India was Dash. Alfonso de Albuquerque. Albuquerque was considered as a real founder of the Portuguese. Francisco de Almeida, he was the first viceroy, whereas Alfonso de Albuquerque was considered as the real founder because in the year 1510 he captured Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur and made Goa as the capital of the Portuguese rule in India. Fifth question, the place which was reached by Vasco da Gama was Dash. He reached which place? Kapadu near Calicut. Vasco da Gama reached near Kapadu near Calicut in the year 1498. Now, in today's session, we shall discuss all these concepts. Battle of Plassey, reasons for the Battle of Plassey, outcomes or the effects of the Battle of Plassey, reasons for the Battle of Buxar, outcomes of the Battle of Buxar, and dual government concept. We shall discuss all these concepts one by one. First one, Battle of Plassey. It was fought in the year 1757. Battle of Plassey was fought in the year 1757 between the British and Nawab Sirajuddaulah. Here we shall discuss what were the reasons, what were the incident which took place before the Battle of Plassey. Here, when we consider this Battle of Plassey, we have to concentrate on Bengal. In the year 1756, Bengal was ruled by Alivardi Khan and he died in the year 1756. After the death of Alivardi Khan, his grandson, who was Alivardi Khan? He was the Nawab of Bengal. He died in the year 1756. After his death, his grandson Sirajuddaulah came to the power. Sirajuddaulah became the Nawab of Bengal. During the period of Sirajuddaulah, the Battle of Plassey was fought between the British and him in the year 1757. Now let us see what were the reasons for the Battle of Plassey. We can identify mainly three reasons for this Battle of Plassey. First one, misuse of dastaks. Second one, mending of port without permission. Third one, black room tragedy. We shall discuss these three reasons one by one. First one, Misuse of dastaks. Here we have to see two important concepts. One is misuse, another one is dastak. Misuse means it was used for other purpose. It was not used for specific purpose, it was used for other purpose, that is misuse. Dastak means, dastak in the sense it was a trade license which was given to the East India Company. Here, who misused? Dastaks were misused. Who misused it? British misused it. Dastaks were misused by the British. Here, Siraj-ud-Dowla was furious that the dastaks were misused by the officials of the company. They misused it. They used it for their own personal purposes. When they misused it, it resulted in the losses to the government treasury of Siraj-ud-Dowla. That's why Siraj-ud-Dowla opposed the misuse of dastaks here. Second one, mending of the fort without permission. Mending in the sense repairing, developing the fort, William, without the permission of Siraj-ud-Dowla. When British mend it without the permission of Nawab, and again Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla became very angry. In the beginning, he was already angry because of the misuse of dastaks, and again one more reason was mending of the fort without the permission of the Nawab. The British repaired the fort of Calcutta. The name of the fort is Fort William. British repaired it and placed cannons in them. Cannons in the sense arms. Various weapons were kept inside the fort, and this further angered Siraj-ud-Dowla, and he ordered the removal of cannons from the fort. This incident made Siraj-ud-Dowla angry. He forced the British to remove the cannons, but British did not agree. They did not agree to do so. Again, Siraj-ud-Dowla became very furious or very angry. Second important reason. Third one, Black Room tragedy. Black Room tragedy was considered as an important reason for the Battle of Plassey. Black Room tragedy took place during the rule of Siraj-ud-Dowla. Here Siraj-ud-Dowla forced the British to remove the cannon from the Fort William. When British were asked to do so, they refused it. That's why Siraj-ud-Dowla captured Fort William easily, and when he captured it, he imprisoned many British soldiers. Nearly 146 British soldiers were kept in a small room. Out of 146 British, 123 died inside the room. This incident was known as Black Hole tragedy or Black Room tragedy. 123 British officials or British soldiers, they died inside a small room. That incident was called as Black Room tragedy. After the Black Room tragedy, this incident led to the Battle of Plassey. After the Black Room tragedy, this incident made Robert Clive, who was the Governor General of British East India Company, he decided to fight against Siraj-ud-Dowla, and he arrived. Robert Clive arrived with a huge army and attacked Siraj-ud-Dowla, attacked Bengal. Finally, it led to the Battle of Plassey in the year 1757. Battle of Plassey was fought between Robert Clive and Siraj-ud-Dowla. There were mainly three reasons. After the Black Room tragedy, Robert Clive decided to defeat Siraj-ud-Dowla. And here, before the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive made many plans. For example, he attracted rich locals, rich businessmen like Manik Chand, Womi Chand, Jagat Seth and others towards him. Here you are watching Robert Clive. Okay, Robert Clive attracted many businessmen towards him, and also he was successful in convincing Mir Jafar. Who was Mir Jafar? He was the military head of Siraj-ud-Dowla's army, and he was successful in making Mir Jafar neutral in the battle. Robert Clive offered Mir Jafar to make him as the Nawab of Bengal. He offered him that after the battle of Plassey, I would make you as the Nawab of Bengal. That's why Mir Jafar during the battle of Plassey became neutral, because Mir Jafar knew that he would become the Nawab of Bengal. That's why he became neutral. In this way, Robert Clive was successful in controlling the various officials and also the military head of Sirajuddaulah. He made all this preparation. Finally, encouraged by all these developments, encouraged by all this support, Robert Clive declared a war against Sirajuddaulah in the year 1757, and the war went according to his plan, according to the plan of Robert Clive. Finally, Sirajuddaulah fought bravely against the British in the Battle of Plassey, but he was not able to face, because his men, his followers, his military commanders did not support him. That's why he had to face defeat. He tried to escape from the battlefield. Finally, he was captured and he was killed by Robert Clive. In this way, the Battle of Plassey came to an end with the death of Sirajuddaulah. Sirajuddaulah was captured and killed by the British people. Now let us see what were the effects of the Battle of Plassey. Already we had discussed that before the Battle of Plassey, it was Robert Clive who promised Mir Jafar that he would make him as the Nawab of Bengal. But after the Battle of Plassey, this war brought immorality, lack of unity among the Indians, and the greed of Indian businessmen. There was no unity among the Indians. If suppose there was a unity, Indians would have won the war. And after the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab of Bengal because he stayed neutral. He supported Robert Clive. He didn't support Sirajuddaulah. He cheated Sirajuddaulah. That's why Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab of Bengal. And company gained exclusive rights to trade in Bengal. Company got complete control over Bengal, and also Mir Jafar had to pay rupees 17 crores and 70 lakhs. 17 crores and 70 lakhs to Sirajuddaulah as a war indemnity for the attack of Fort William. Sirajuddaulah was the Nawab now. He had to pay huge war indemnity. These were all the Battle of Plassey, reasons and the outcomes of the Battle of Plassey. From the exam point of view, you have to give more importance to both causes and the effects of the Battle of Plassey. Now let us move to another important concept of this lesson, that is the Battle of Buxar. Battle of Plassey was fought in the 1757, Battle of Buxar was fought in the 1764. Battle of Plassey was fought between Sirajuddaulah and the British. Battle of Buxar was fought between Mir Qasim and the British. Here we have already discussed that Mir Jafar, during the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar helped the British. That's why after the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab of Bengal. But when Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal, he became a victim of the company and its employees. They exploited him. Even though the treasury went bankrupt due to this greedy nature and the greediness of the company and its officials, was never satisfied. He fulfilled all the demands of the British. But day by day, the British East India Company and the British officials, they were demanding more and more. They were demanding more money. They were exploiting him. They misused him. That's why Mir Jafar wanted to expand his power. He did not want to remain a puppet in the hands of the British. He wanted to expand his power. That's why British projected him as an inefficient. They wanted to remove him from the post because he wanted to expand his power. That's why British projected him or declared him as inefficient Nawab and brought his nephew Mir Qasim as the new Nawab. Mir Qasim, who was Mir Qasim? He was the nephew of Mir Jafar. Mir Qasim became the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim now became the Nawab of Bengal after Mir Jafar. Here Mir Qasim, he was also able administrator. He was an efficient administrator. He also fulfilled all the demands of the British. In the beginning, he remained loyal to the British East India Company. In what way? He paid 2 lakh pounds to the company and gave away few places to them. He fulfilled all their demands by paying money, by paying few places to the East India Company, and also he also did not want to remain puppet in the hands of the British. He declared himself as an independent king. He also declared independent king. After verifying the misuse of dastaks, he declared all business was duty free in Bengal. Dastaks were misused by the British officials. He declared that all business was duty free in Bengal. Indians competed against the British in all spheres of business. As a result, the British trade suffered considerably. When he made dastaks free, when he declared all business was duty free in Bengal, Indian traders could compete easily with the British. As a result, British faced financial burden. They faced huge loss. That's why British got a chance to remove the Nawab from the post. That's why they removed him. They removed Mir Qasim from the post of Nawab and made Mir Jafar as the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim was removed from the post of Nawab. Mir Qasim knew the cunningness of the British. He went for an organized war against them. He wanted to defeat them because he was removed from the throne. Why he was removed? Because he made duty free trade in Bengal. He made all trade free. That's why they removed him. He organized an army. The army consists of various rulers here. First one, Mughal ruler Shah Alam II and Nawab of Oudh Shuja ud Dawla. And not only Shah Alam II and Shuja ud Dawla, Mir Qasim was supported by various Indian merchants and artisans during this battle. In this way, Battle of Buxar was fought in the 1764 between Mir Qasim, Shah Alam II and Shuja ud Dawla one side, another side the British. And here the combined forces of Mir Qasim, combined forces here Shah Alam II, Shuja ud Dawla and Mir Qasim, they faced the British army. British army was led by Hector Munro. In the year 1764, Mir Qasim was defeated in the battlefield. He had to run away from the battlefield because he was defeated. Shah Alam II finally surrendered. The efforts of the combined forces to stop the British failed miserably. Even though combined forces were very strong, they failed to defeat the British. Now let us see what were the outcomes of the Battle of Buxar. We have already discussed the outcomes of the Battle of Plassey. In the same way, Battle of Buxar has its own outcomes. For example, Shah Alam II accorded Diwani rights over Bengal to the British. He gave Diwani right. What do you mean by Diwani right? The special right to collect the taxes in Bengal was known as Diwani right. Here in picture you are seeing Shah Alam II gave away all the rights over Bengal to the British for an annual fee of rupees 26 lakhs because Shah Alam II was defeated in the Battle of Buxar. When he was defeated, he made an agreement with the British. As per the agreements, he gave Diwani rights and also he gave annual fee of rupees 26 lakhs. and also he gave away all the rights over Bengal. Third one, the Nawab of Oudh had to pay a fine of rupees 50 lakhs for waging a war against the company. With the death of Mir Jafar, the company paid pension to his son, because there was a good relationship between Mir Jafar and the company. That's why they paid pension to his son, took over the entire administration of Bengal. In this way, after the battle of Buxar, Bihar, Bengal, Orissa came under the control of the British. After the battle of Plassey, they gained complete control over Bengal. But after the battle of Buxar, they gained control over not only Bengal, Bihar, Orissa and other regions of India. In this way, the Battle of Buxar made the British real holders of power over Bihar, Bengal and Odisha provinces. Even Oudh remained under their control. The last important concept of this lesson is dual government. The name itself says that dual government means two types of government. It was introduced by Robert Clive in the year 1765. Dual government concept was introduced by Robert Clive in the year 1765. Robert Clive was a British governor. During the Battle of Plassey, he was the governor. After the Battle of Plassey, he went to England. He came to India again in the year 1765. When he came to India, he introduced a policy or a concept known as dual government concept. According to this dual government concept, the British had the right to collect taxes. I have already told that there are two types of government. One government is under the control of British, another one is under the control of Nawab. What about the British government here? The British had the right to collect taxes, where the Nawab had the power over administration, whereas the Nawab had power over administrative issues like justice and others. Administrative issues were under the control of Nawab. British had the control to collect land taxes. In this way, British gained political control over India to protect their business interests. To protect their business interest, to gain more profit, slowly they involved in the political situations of India. Dear students, in today's session we have discussed all these concepts: Battle of Plassey, reasons for the Battle of Plassey, outcomes of the Battle of Plassey, reasons for the Battle of Buxar, outcomes of the Battle of Buxar and dual government concepts. All these concepts are very important from the exam point of view, so you have to give more importance to these concepts. Okay, dear students, in today's session we have discussed various concepts like the Battle of Plassey, which was fought in the year 1757 between Robert Clive and Siraj-ud-Dowla. Finally, in the Battle of Plassey, Siraj-ud-Dowla was defeated and killed. After his death, who became the Nawab? Mir Jafar became the Nawab. Mir Jafar fulfilled all the demands of the British, but later he wanted to expand his power. That's why British dethroned him from the post, made Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. That's why Battle of Buxar fought. During the Battle of Buxar, when Mir Qasim was made as the Nawab of Bengal, he also fulfilled all the demands of the British by giving some money and also by giving some places. But slowly he also wanted to expand his power. He made trade as duty free in Bengal. He made the trade as duty free in Bengal. When he made trade as duty free in Bengal, British East India Company faced huge loss. That's why they dethroned Mir Qasim. Again, Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab. When Mir Jafar was made as the Nawab, this incident made Mir Qasim to fight against the British. He organized a combined armies of Shah Alam II and Shuja-ud-Dowla, the Nawab of Oudh. Finally, the battle fought in their 1764. This battle was known as the Battle of Buxar. In this battle, Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla, Shah Alam II all were defeated. After the Battle of Buxar, British gained complete control over Bengal. After the Battle of Buxar, British gained complete control over Bihar, Bengal and Orissa. And last important concept, that is dual government, which was introduced in the year 1765. It was introduced by Robert Clive. Now I am going to give you some homework questions. You have to write. Let's start. First one, complete the following blanks with suitable answers. First one, in 1757, Robert Clive declared dash battle over Siraj-ud-Dawla. Second one, the Diwani rights over Bengal were handed over to the British by dash. Third one, the dual government policy was implemented by dash in Bengal. Second main, answer the following questions. First question, write the reasons for the Battle of Plassey. Second one, write a note on Black Room tragedy. Third one, what were the outcomes of the Battle of Plassey? Fourth one, why was Mir Jafar removed from the power? Who did they appoint in his place? You have to write the answers for all these questions and show those questions to your teachers. If any mistakes are there, you have to correct them. Dear students, in today's sessions, we have discussed the second part of first lesson, that is the advent of Europeans to India. I wish you good luck. Thank you.